Hi, I'm Caren Baginski, and in this video, let's practice yoga to release negative thoughts and negative energy. You can find out a lot more about this topic on my website, carenbaginski.com, so feel free to hop on over there and sign up for my free e-letter for even more tips and practices to release negative thoughts that are holding you back from your goals. For this practice today, we'll use 2 yoga blocks, a strap, and a yoga bolster. And if you don't have these things, simply search around your house, get creative for something you can tie or loop around your legs, something to hold onto with your hands, and maybe a folded up blanket that we'll rest on during the end of practice. All right, gather up all of those things and let's meet back on your mat. We'll start with the block and the strap nearby on our backs. So bring those things to you. And if you've got a strap, then loop the strap so that it makes a continuous loop that doesn't pull apart. You can also just tie this when it comes time around the legs. So keep these things nearby within your reach and come onto your back with your knees up to the ceiling and your feet flat on the floor. And once you arrive there, point your toes straight forward, feet are underneath your knees, arms are by your sides. Rest your shoulder blades on the ground. And let's open with some pelvic tilts. So take an inhale and lift your low back away from the floor, dragging your tailbone toward your head. Exhale and flatten the whole lower spine to the ground. You'll feel the tailbone start to tilt up to the ceiling. Let's continue with a deeper, slower pace of breath. Feeling the belly expand on your inhale and fully release on your exhale. Get used to the feeling of the body moving, dragging through space with your tailbone. Bring full awareness here to the base of your spine as you move, so that you can get back into your body and start the process of dropping out of that thinking mind and into sensation in your whole self. Let's find one more round of complete breath. Bring yourself through both of the positions and then just find neutral, where it feels like you're in between. And then we'll reach around for the block and the strap. So first go for the strap, find your loop, and take that over your feet, pulling your knees in. Bring it up around your upper legs. So if you have a buckle, that will be facing you so you can tighten. You can also tighten or just make a loop or a knot with the strap now. And then find your yoga block and place that in between your upper thighs and your knees. Then tighten even more so that it feels like there's no effort to hold your legs up, so that the block is just held up by its own and the legs feel really effortless. Once you've got all of that set up, we're going to take 10 squeezes into the block, and then we'll take 10 pulls outward here on the strap. So first, let's begin with the gentle squeezes in. Squeeze into the block, and then release. Squeeze in, and release. And as you continue, notice if you fully release or not. Allow yourself that moment of full squeeze, full release. The breath is just easy and smooth. And start to pay attention now into your hips. Where does it feel like something is gripping and grabbing? And where does it feel like maybe one half of your body is not as responsive? Just note that for yourself, not to judge or criticize, but just to see what is happening now in your body. That's about 10 that we've taken now of squeezes in toward the block. Now pull out against the strap and release. And you might want to move the block too if you feel like you're going to pull out and it'll drop. So just pull out and then release. Pull out and release. 10 of these. Feeling the outer thighs now. Which one maybe feels a bit stronger? Continue noticing the difference between the tug and the release. Easy breath. Finishing up the last few here together. Let's take one more. And then relax. And pull the knees in. Let's take whatever was around the legs off and simply set that to the side. And then bring both of the knees into your chest. You might hug around the thighs, sway side to side. Just notice that new awareness you have about your legs. And from here, we'll move into Apanasana flow. So hold your right knee in and extend your left leg long. Now inhale, your arms overhead, and reach the right leg long as well. Then exhale, arms down, left knee hugs into the heart. We'll go back and forth like this. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, the leg long. Exhale, bring the right knee in, the hands come down to hug. Continue flowing with your own pace of breath, which might be different than mine, because you're unique. I like to say that yoga is not one size fits all because you're one of a kind. So find your way through this practice with ease, with full breath, with presence. Dropping even more now into the feeling in the body rather than the doing in the mind. Let's find one more round so that the last knee that you hug in is your left. And then once you do that, inhale the arms overhead, the legs long. Exhale, sweep the arms down and rebend into the knees, planting them with your feet flat, facing forward, moving into bridge pose. In order to engage your thighs even more, you might reach around for that block and place it again here. You can, of course, do this without it as well. Let your arms come face up. Now hug your inner thighs gently, push into the soles of your feet, slide your tailbone forward, elongate your low back, touching the ground. Now squeeze into your glutes, and let's inhale and rise. Turn on the legs gently. Lift through the heart. Slide your tailbone toward your knees. Maybe if it's available to you, you can draw your shoulders downward and toward one another. Of course, if it feels a little steadier to have your palms face down, please feel free to turn those down now. Let's find one more smoother and bigger breath in. And then breathe out and set your glutes, your hips, everything down to the mat. Let's move the block to the side. And pull the right knee in, the left leg goes long, and take a twist. The right foot will come to the left leg, and then twist with the knee across your body. Now here's two options. Bring a bolster or a block underneath that knee as you extend your right arm out to the side and gaze to that side. If that feels uncomfortable for your back to have your knee high, you might experiment with taking it all the way down to the floor with nothing underneath it. In that case, you'll square your hips even more. This will probably be more of an intense twist. So go to that level which feels appropriate for your body today. Let's find one more breath in here. Breathe out. Let go. Soften through your shoulders, your face. And gently release onto your back, out of the twist. Right leg is long, left knee comes in. Take the left knee across the body to the right, the foot stacks on top of the leg, hips stack, knee either comes down to a block or down to the floor. Arms to a V, gaze, if it's comfortable, to the opposite side of your knee. And take deep, spacious breaths. Maybe even closing your eyes. Feel the density of your bones heavy in toward the floor. A moment of surrender and relaxation. One more breath here. Release by coming onto your back. Extend the legs long. Just rest, noticing any sense of relaxation that's arrived in the low back and the legs. And then we'll come up to a seat. So you could either just bend your knees in, push up to a seat, or push off to your side and come up to a seat. And then table position. So knees come down to the floor. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Let's move through cow and cat. So on an inhale, descend through the heart, tilt the tailbone up, look forward, and drop your shoulder blades toward one another on the back. Then exhale and arch everything toward the ceiling, relaxing your head, crown toward the floor. Inhale into cow pose. Shoulder blades come together. Exhale, round even the lower spine, the low back, into cat. One more round here, following the pace of your breath. And then come back into neutral where we began. Now from table, we'll flow with the legs, holding and touching, eventually with opposite hand. First, reach your right toes down and back, tucking them to the ground, extend long through the leg, and feel that whole right side of your body start to engage, especially through the kneecap lifting. Now lift that leg up, lift your low belly up and in as well. On your exhale, draw your knee in toward your sternum. Little itty bitty round in your spine. Inhale, lengthen out through the leg. Exhale, draw the knee to the right elbow. Then inhale, lengthen it out. Exhale, draw your knee over to your left shoulder, crossing over the body. Inhale and lengthen it out. Now exhale, left hand comes in to touch the right knee. Inhale, set the hand down, lengthen the leg back out. Set the toes down, tuck them under. Find your position with your hands and your right toes tucked, and just lift your left leg up, just a little bit. Good, find the breath, deepening. Exhale and set the knee down. Other knee comes down as well. Let's move to the other side. Left leg extends back, toes down. Squeeze gently through your outer left hip and your whole left leg so you find steadiness. Now notice how the low back tends to sag a little. Lift up into that space. On an inhale, lift the leg behind you. On an exhale, the knee comes straight in toward your sternum. Inhale, length. Exhale, the knee moves over to the left elbow. Inhale, back out. Exhale the knee across the body to the right. Inhale, lengthen it back out. Now exhale, the right hand lifts, touch the left knee as it comes in. Inhale, hand down, lift the leg back out. And exhale, the toes tuck. Now center through your pelvis, push down into both hands equally. Inhale, lift your whole right leg up just a few inches. Lift your low belly, one more breath in. Breathe out, set that knee down, the other knee down as well. One inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat. Now from this space, I'm gonna walk toward the middle of the mat, spinning here. I suggest you do the same so that when we step our legs out, They'll match onto the sticky part of the mat. So we'll move into gate pose. Step your right leg out first. And as your right leg moves out to the side, push into your pinky toe edge. Hands come down right underneath your shoulders, and then your other knee is stacked underneath the hip. Now from here, you can stay right here if you feel this opening in your thigh, if that's enough. The second option is to grab blocks and take your forearms down to your blocks. Now notice, can you lower your hip downward just a little bit more? And if the blocks feel like they're impeding your progress, you can come all the way down to the floor with your forearms and relax your head. Continue to reach outward into your pinky toe, into the outer edge of the whole heel. Let's take one more breath in. And breathe out. Inhale, lift back up to your palms. And exhale, step this knee in. And let's move to the other side. Left leg out, toes are facing forward. Same thing, maybe just starting here, lowering that back hip down, finding a space where the hips feel like they're more so coming to level, even if they don't look like that. And then moving down in stages. Maybe you stop at the blocks. And after a couple breaths, maybe you move down to the floor. Be in the process of your practice. All those little steps that we take to get to the next position. Rather than seeing arms to the floor as the goal, can you just be in your breath, in the pose, and let that be enough? One more breath in, and one more breath out. Begin to move by lifting back up to your hands if you're not already. Then step your knee back in. Take your blocks with you and turn back to the short edge of your mat. Blocks in hands or fingers to ground if you don't have blocks. Step forward with your right foot into a lunge. Find your range of motion where it feels like you just naturally stop. And then square off your hips. So draw your right hip back, lift up from your outer left hip. Feel that familiar engagement when we had the block in between our thighs and bridge. You can feel both of your thighs gently hugging in. Let's start to lift up from there. The blocks can be nice helpers by your sides as you lift up. Your chest more upright. If you feel any tension happening in your low back, sink your tailbone down, maybe a little hinge forward with the chest. Now, if it's available to you, let's inhale and reach the arms up overhead. And 3 times, exhale, elbows into cactus, drawing them down by your sides. Inhale, lift up. Little slight movement with the legs as well. Exhale, deepen into the lunge, deepen into the arms in cactus. One more inhale. Exhale, pull down. Then inhale and lift all the way up. Drop your right hand to your hip. Lift straight up with your left arm. Then exhale and side bend to the right toward your thigh. Glide your shoulder blades together. And then find those front ribs that like to push forward and absorb them in just a little. One more inhale. On the exhale, release your hands. Grab your blocks, walk them to the inside of your right leg, and then heel toe that right foot out, 45 degrees with the toes facing the edge of your mat. You can stay right here in lizard if this is enough, or experiment with coming down to your forearms. So as you come to the inside of that front thigh, walk your elbows forward, nice long spine. Couple breaths in and out just to become aware of what's going on in that right hip. Inhale, push back into the blocks, or if not just the floor, lifting your elbows. I like to use a block here on my left hand. It gives me a little bit more height. As we inhale, sweep the right arm back behind you, twist open towards your thigh, maybe hold on to the back foot. Or visualize it. If you don't quite have the hold of the foot, you can always pause here, visualizing yourself eventually making the hold of the foot. Shoulder blades together. One more breath in, drawing the foot in, in. Exhale, gently release through the foot first, the hands second. Straighten a little bit through that front leg so you can sweep the leg back. And here we arrive in table. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Notice how different, as you pause, the right side feels compared to the left. Let's see if we can match up that feeling. So hands to blocks or ground, step the left foot forward into lunge. Let's take just as much care setting up on this side as we did previously, being fully in the process even though you know where you're going now. So left hip back, hugging inner thighs, walking the blocks back so that you start to lift, and gaze down at that front knee. If it's not stacked over top of the ankle, just walk your foot forward or back until it is. You'll feel a lot more stable when you do that. And as you find the space of squeezing and hugging inner thighs, if it feels comfortable, inhale and raise your arms. Exhale and find a depth with strength. And 3 times cactus arms. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, elbows down by your sides. Inhale, lift, leaning out of the lunge just a little. Exhale, drive yourself down. Last time. Arms down, exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. Drop your left elbow down to your left hip. Reach straight up through your right arm. Exhale, side bend. Glide those front ribs in as you bend toward your thigh. Really light up your chest with deeper and deeper breaths. Part of what we're affecting here is the psoas, which connects into the ribs, that big long muscle that runs from the bottom half of your body to the top half of your body. You're probably feeling sensation there. Affect that with your breath. Inhale and lift back up. Exhale and release your hands down. Glide your blocks to the inside of that left foot. Heel toe it out to the left so you have more space. Turn those toes out 45 degrees. And then maybe you pause on your hands for lizard. Maybe you move down to your elbows. Maybe all the way to the floor. Notice if your back is rounding. Encourage a release of your shoulders together. Spine nice and long. Chin draws slightly in. Find elongation in your throat. Be in whatever discomfort is here with easy, smooth breath, knowing that it's not going to last forever. Let's inhale back to the palms. Maybe holding on to a block with your right hand. Inhale your left arm, swing it back behind you, twist open. Maybe then hold on to the foot or just visualize the hold. Shoulder blades together. Draw the leg in. Soften through your elbows. Big deep breath in. Deep breath out as you gently release. Unwind the body, coming forward. Little straightening through that front leg to sweep the knee back. Blocks to the sides. One last time, cow and cat. As you make your way through, pay complete attention to left hip and then right hip. Pausing in the middle in table, does it feel like some equality has happened in the hip space? Swing the legs to one side. Come onto your back again, but this time with either a bolster or 2 blocks. Blocks can come underneath your knees as your feet come together. This is a nice variation in our reclining cobbler's pose, or you can take your bolster and slide that underneath your knees. Feet are together, and then the legs might feel a little bit more supportive. Instead of just underneath the knees, there's more support for the whole legs. the bottom half at least. And then you will lean back, lowering down onto your back. Arms by your sides in a V, palms face up. Give yourself over to the floor. Let's find 3 big breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh, intentionally making sound out through the mouth to calm the body even more as we find our way into rest. So, when you're ready, deeply inhale and sigh out the mouth. Complete inhalation. Fill it up until you no longer can. Open the mouth. Last time, inhale. Give voice to your relaxation. And now relax your mouth. Relax the soles of the feet. The palms of the hands. Find your way into closed eyes if that's comfortable. Experience yourself, not just from the mind, but from any sensation that you're noticing in your body. Experience your whole body. Your whole body at rest. And now, revisit your mind and recognize that because you paid such complete attention to your body and your breath, that you were able to exist in a space that was not just mental. That for this time together, some of that mental chatter has ceased. And in these moments of quiet, it's common for that chatter to come back. The goal of this practice is not to eliminate negative thoughts completely, or to once and for all get rid of all negative energy. The process of this practice allows us to remember who we are beyond just the mind. So feel into your vastness, feel into your spacious breath, your relaxed body. And let's transition smoothly into shavasana. Extend the legs now, pulling the knees in. The legs go long. If you have that bolster, you can simply slide it down toward underneath the knees, or set the blocks off to the side. Rearrange your arms so that you have space. The palms are up, the shoulders feel level on the back, and there's no more effort at all in your hips. Go right back into your spaciousness. I'll keep time for you, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. use the next several breaths to bring yourself back from stillness. Fill up deeper into your belly. Empty completely. As you inhale, feel your rib cage lift and expand. As you exhale, feel the peace in your heart spread all over to every cell in your whole being. And take that with you as you start to move deliberately into your fingers, your toes. When you feel ready to begin to move even more, inhale and reach your arms overhead, extend through your legs. Exhale, pull your knees in toward your heart. Rock to a side of your choice, resting in a fetal position. And when you're ready, in no rush at all, use just enough effort to push down and lift up through your heart. You can bring a bolster or something underneath your hips now. Comfortable, easy seat. Bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for your presence. I deeply honor your light. Namaste. I hope that this practice left you with a deeper understanding of your whole self, not just the pieces and the parts that we tend to live in, primarily the head most of the time. Such a pleasure to guide you through this practice today. I would love to hear about your experience, so feel free to leave a comment below this video and let me know how this went for you. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more yoga and meditation practices to help you remember your true, authentic self. You can hit that bell notification to get an alert the moment I post a new video. Thanks again for practicing with me. I will see you in the next one.